Hi, I'm Joanna Britt. I'm the chair of the social ministry team here at Augsburg. This is the team that works to create and support all the ways that we love our neighbors beyond the walls of our church. On Fridays during Lent, we'll be sharing videos with you that tell the stories of some of the social ministry partnerships. We hope that these brief videos are a reminder that even while we're apart, God is still at work in us. This week we focus on our partnership with Forsyth Prison Ministry. Thanks for all of the ways that you support this partnership through your prayers and your support. Here's a little background about our partnership.
One of the first names that I heard mentioned when I came to Augsburg in the fall of 2017 was Vernon Carlton. He had entered the Church Triumphant in April, just a few months earlier, but his legacy here at Augsburg would continue to stand the test of time. And part of Vernon's passion was prison ministry, the Forsyth County Jail and Prison Ministry. And so as we learned more about that, we knew that it was important to renew what Vernon and so many others had been part of for so long. So I invite you to hear from Chaplain Stillwell, who runs the program, and his passion and all the ways that God is at work in that. From Dan Hefner, a member of Augsburg, who's talking about how we're renewing our partnership with the prison ministry and what God has in store next.
We are so grateful to be able to spend a few moments with our brothers and sisters at Augsburg. Your partnership with us through the years has meant a great deal, and many times we've done projects together, either at the church that have had consequences and fruit in the jail and the prison, or you've joined us out at the prison. And so we're so grateful for that. Paul has asked me to respond to several questions, and I want to start with the first one by again saying thank you so much for your partnership and the impact that you have had behind bars. Your partnership as a local church with the Forsyth Jail and Prison Ministries is crucial. Our roots are in the local church. We are an extension of the local church, and we are a specialized ministry going places where the church needs to go but cannot go because of the specifics of the location. Not everybody is called to be a chaplain or to be a lay volunteer behind the bars on the other side of the fences, but everybody's called to pray for the folks there and to be involved in some way. So our mission, your mission as a church, and our mission as a local ministry in a specialized setting is one and the same. We're following the biblical mandate of Matthew 25, where Jesus said, "If you want to see me, come to prison, and there you will see me." And so we want to make opportunities for you available to come out as volunteers or to come out as a church. And as soon as the post-COVID era hits us, we certainly intend on inviting you and getting you to be there to worship together in the service. So that's an important part of your mission as a church and of our ministry. Prisons are a thing that everybody has been in, but Jesus was a prisoner. Peter and Paul spent time behind bars, either in some kind of incarceration or forced enclosure happened for Martin Luther. And so it's a part of where our roots are as a church, and it's a part of where our roots are as a people of faith. Some of the misconceptions and stereotypes that I would like to share with you and invite you to reconsider as we do the meditation today. We believe in a gospel that changes things. The word for transformation is metanoia, and that is about repenting and changing and things moving. God is a mover and shaker, and he changes your life and my life, and he changes that. This is what he does. One of my favorite sayings is from an author who said, "God loves us exactly as we are, but loves us too much to leave us exactly where we are." I have an 8-year-old grandson who we spend a lot of time with, And recently he found out that he loves to ride his bicycle in the street. And I love him. I love him exactly like he's riding that bike. I love him and do with it and want to stay out there as much as he can. But our street is a safe street, and there are many streets that he doesn't need to venture onto because they're not straight. So I love him just exactly where he is, but I love him too much to go riding his bike on I-40. And I believe God changes us and helps us. And one of the misconceptions and stereotypes that we have to face is that our men and women who have broken the law or who are offenders are incapable of changing. Well, they really are. But by the grace of God, working in them allows them to find the freedom and to reclaim their image as a child of God and can allow them to change. And one of the evidence of this is our program, the Transition to Work program, where we're able to have men come through our program who study the Bible, who worship and do that, and who then go and we assist them to reacclimate into the community and to make a transition. And the rate for recidivism, which is people recommitting crimes in North Carolina, is 40%. And for our Transition to Work program, it's less than 7%. So this is statistical proof. What we know in our hearts as people of faith is that God can change people and does so all the time. And that's our number one thing that we struggle with, that people feeling like there's a futility, that we have to accept crime and violence as a part of our lives and the community, and nothing can be done about it. So as we renew our partnership with Augsburg, let me ask you to remember to fight those kinds of principalities and fight those kinds of stereotypes, to pray for God's work and his grace, active in volunteers and active in the lives of offenders as they change and make changes to be the people God calls them to be. After COVID breaks and things reopen, we certainly want you to come out and be a part of a worship service with us at the prison. And if you want to mobilize and do something even quicker than that, we will be giving out gifts at Easter to the 700 inmates at the jail and the 200 inmates at the prison. And in those things, we'll give out a written story of the gospel, as well as soap, shampoo, deodorant, and toothpaste. And I can work through Paul to open those doors where you could contribute and have a contribution that would be a part of those guys' gifts to celebrate Easter and the fact that he indeed has risen. So thank you, Augsburg, for all your support, for your prayers, and for everything that you are doing in God's world, and also specifically what you are doing and have done and are going to do with the Forsyth Jail and Prison Ministries. Thank you, Paul.
Hi, I'm Dan Hefner, a long-term member of Augsburg, and my wife Phyllis also. We have been members for many, many years. Our son grew up at Augsburg, so we know many of you very well. Phyllis and I first got introduced to the prison ministry when we started serving on the social ministry committee about 2 years ago, 2019. Was familiar with the ministry, but not as familiar as we are now. So we had an opportunity to do a lot of research in that area. Paul Meyer, who was the chair of ministry in 2019, social ministry in 2019, asked, and just of all of us, we were asked to look at partnerships that we had within the congregation and to look at our contribution, the financial contribution to those ministries through our benevolence fund. So Phyllis and I, knowing about that ministry and our long-term member Vernon Carlton and our previous minister being involved in that ministry, we were just really excited to look at the prison ministry as being a benefactor of the benevolent fund that particular quarter. So we did a lot of research. I talked with Pastor Wren, who gave me some background information, also with Chaplain Stillwell, who you have just met. And so learned more about the ministry with that in mind. That same year in 2019, the ministry had a breakfast, which was a huge fundraiser, and it is well attended. There were probably 100 or so tables where Augsburg made a contribution to for 10 of us to attend that breakfast and just learned more about the ministry. So just really have appreciated the opportunity to learn more about the ministry. My professional career was with a program, a state program under the Department of Health and Human Services. And because of my career, Phyllis got very involved in that and knew all that I was doing. That program worked with individuals who had disabilities. And the role of that program was to put individuals back into the workforce. And that's one of the reasons, not that everyone incarcerated, or even maybe the majority, fewer than the majority, who are incarcerated and have into the legal system, not necessarily have disabilities, but oftentimes there are issues, mental health issues, developmental disabilities, emotional problems that can lead sometimes to incarceration. So realizing that the program that the prison ministry is doing in the transition to work program is extremely important to me, and that was my role with my profession as getting individuals back into the workforce, assisting through education, training, whatever it might be to get them back into the workforce and enabling them to become contributing members of society once again. So that is a real keen interest and love for this program that Phyllis and I both have, and has guided us to be involved in this ministry. We're looking forward to that continuation. Hopefully, as things do open up, that we can even look at doing some volunteer work with those two programs. So we're just real excited that Augsburg is partnering with this ministry and look forward to our continued partnership with the Forsyth Prison and Jail Ministry.
We'll certainly work with Chaplain Stillwell, not only on this Easter project, but on other opportunities to come. And this will continue to be part of our sharing. As we break out of COVID times, certainly volunteer possibilities will exist as well. But we are reminded in the words of Matthew 25 that we see Jesus when we see those who are in times of struggle, especially those in times of incarceration. And we keep in prayer all those who are incarcerated, all those who protect and watch over them, and all those who administer justice, that God is at work and our time and efforts are done to the glory of God each day. Peace be with you.